a calm and peaceful-looking lake. But beneath the surface, it hides a terrifying secret. A mermaid lives there, a creature that lures humans into her trap. Anyone who goes near that lake never returns. The story begins with a couple spending time near the lake. The man walks closer to the water, and when his girlfriend turns his face toward her, she is shocked. His eyes have turned completely red, as if something has taken control of him. Before she can react, an unseen force drags the man into the lake. The woman panics and rushes to pull her husband back toward the shore. She believes something in the lake is trying to kill him. Terrified, she screams into the water, telling the spirit that if it wants to take someone, it should take her instead, and she quickly pulls him to safety. But then, that same spirit grabs the woman and drags her into the lake. Now the scene cuts to the present day. We meet another couple, Marina and Roma, who are in a very serious relationship and planning to get married soon. Roma travels with his friends to his father's house, a house located right next to the same lake. He tells his friend that his mother died here. She drowned in this lake. Ever since then, his father has been mentally unstable. We now understand that Roma is the child of the couple we saw in the beginning of the movie. Later, Roma and his friends discover that the basement of the house is flooded with water. Roma's friends think the basement flooding is simply because the house is old. Meanwhile, Roma jumps into the lake to take a swim. As he swims, he suddenly feels like someone else is in the water with him. When he swims back toward the edge, he sees a mysterious girl standing near the lake. Roma walks out of the water and just stares at her. The girl looks back at him and asks a strange question. "Do you love me?" Then she gives him a disturbing, seductive smile. At the same time, Marina is calling him, but he doesn't respond. The next morning, Roma's friends finally find him, lying unconscious near the lake. When he wakes up, the first thing he asks about is the girl, the mermaid he saw. His friends find a comb lying on the ground, and Marina finds a similar comb entangled in Roma's clothes. After this incident, Roma's health starts to decline. He doesn't feel normal anymore. His performance in swimming becomes worse and worse. His coach warns him that he needs a lot more practice. Something is clearly wrong. Later, while Roma is taking a shower, strange occurrences begin. The mermaid appears behind him again and asks, "Do you love me?" But when Roma quickly turns around, she vanishes into thin air. Roma goes back home and feels even more sick. A high fever hits him. Marina assumes it's due to his intense training. As Roma lies in bed, he suddenly feels someone touching and tickling his leg. Thinking it's Marina, he yells angrily at her. But when he looks, no one is there. Marina, worried, gives him medicine and tries to help him sleep. After that, Marina video calls Roma's sister, Olga, and tells her about Roma's worsening condition. Marina also jokes that maybe Roma has found another girl. Then she shows Olga the comb they discovered. As soon as Olga sees it, she becomes shocked and deeply worried. She immediately looks through her old family photos, and she notices the exact same comb in pictures of their mother. The next day, Roma goes to swimming practice again. The moment he dives into the pool, he suddenly sees himself transported back to the lake. When he climbs out of the water, the mermaid appears once again. She asks him the same question, "Do you love me?" Roma refuses. Her face twists into a terrifying expression. She screams at him furiously, and Roma collapses, unconscious. In reality, he had fainted at the edge of the swimming pool, and his teammates rushed to wake him. After this incident, and he is taken to the hospital. There, Roma tells everyone the truth about the girl he met at the lake, and how strange things have been happening ever since. He says that girl is always near him. Olga then asks where he first saw her. Roma says by the lake. She was wearing my shirt. I kissed her. Hearing this, Marina becomes furious and starts to leave. Roma tries to go after her to explain, but he is too weak and struggles to even walk. Suddenly Marina hears a strange sound and walks toward another room. Roma, worried, slowly follows her. But before everyone could get Roma out of that room, the mermaid attacked him once again. Seeing all this, Olga immediately understood everything, and she quickly took them all to their father. At first, his father refuses to meet them and tells them to leave. But when Olga shows him the comb, he starts listening to everything. When he sees Roma's condition, he breaks down and cries. He warns them not to listen to anything the mermaid says, or she will take him away forever. He then explains that exactly 30 years ago, that same mermaid appeared to him near the lake. After that, strange things started happening in his life too. She would appear everywhere and torture him. Roma's mother tried hard to protect him, but nothing worked. The mermaid eventually took her away. He still remembers her every day. Hearing this, they all go to the lake again. Olga and Roma's friend, Leah, go close to the water. Leah dives into the lake, where he finds a grave underwater. As he reads the name written on it, he notices several dead bodies around him. Terrified, he starts swimming back toward the boat. The mermaid tries to drag him back down into the water, but he barely escapes with his life. With Olga's help, he gets back to the shore. Then they reveal the mermaid's name, Lisa Gregorova. Meanwhile, Marina sees a woman in the house across from them. When she goes there, she finds out it's the ghost of Roma's mother. She tells Marina that before she died, she was performing a ritual. Then she tells, "Take what belongs to you, and return to me what belongs to me." Seeing all this, Marina becomes very scared and rushes back into the house. There, she sees some evil force dragging Roma into the basement. Marina quickly tries to help him, but suddenly the mermaid comes out of the basement and starts dragging him again. Marina attacks the mermaid and pulls Roma back up, and they quickly seal that area using nails. Now Olga explains to everyone that in old times, when people committed suicide, they were not buried in the cemetery. Instead, they were buried inside the lake. And maybe this mermaid also committed suicide in her time. That's why she was buried near the lake. But with the water rising, her grave sank deeper underwater. Olga also tells them that they should not have taken her comb, because a mermaid's entire power is in her hair. Then Marina tells her about the ritual Roma's mom was trying to perform, and that she was talking about the item that belongs to her, meaning that comb. Marina then asks Leah to wait for her outside the cottage, while she goes inside to perform the ritual. Meanwhile, outside, the mermaid appears in front of Leah. She asks him the same question, "Do you love me?" And he says yes. After that, she possesses him, and she also possesses Roma again, forcing him to go down to the basement. Olga tries to stop him, but he attacks her. Meanwhile, Marina continues the ritual and finally starts doing it the right way. She puts the mermaid's comb into the water and looks in a mirror, saying, "Take what belongs to you and return what belongs to me." Instantly, the comb disappears. The mermaid then forces Marina's head underwater and shows her the past, where a man promised to marry her but betrayed her. Seeing this, she killed them and then went into the water to commit suicide. That is when she became the mermaid, and after that, she started attracting many men and taking their lives. In the basement, Roma finally regains consciousness and quickly runs toward the cottage. There he sees that Leah is also possessed and is walking inside the cottage. The mermaid appears in Marina's form and asks him, "Do you love me?" But this time, Roma recognizes the real Marina, and the moment he does, the possession over Lisa also breaks. The next morning, everything seems normal, but Leah has already been possessed by the mermaid. After admitting that he loves her, he goes down into the basement. Roma follows him, and there the mermaid takes Leah with her. Roma tries hard to save him, but he fails. The mermaid then attacks Roma again. At that exact moment, Marina and Olga arrive and help pull Roma out of there. They immediately leave the place. After driving for some distance, their car suddenly stops. Roma gets out to check the engine, and heavy rain begins to pour. Once again, the mermaid appears, and water starts filling the car. She does this because she wants to take Marina away from Roma. Roma quickly breaks the car window and saves Marina and his sister Olga. Marina asks why the mermaid is still following them even though they returned her comb. Roma realizes that she will never stop chasing them this way. Roma then runs toward the lake. Marina tries to follow him, but someone hits her on the head. As Roma reaches the lake, the mermaid appears again and asks him the same question. "Do you love me?" Roma answers yes, but the mermaid replies, "No, you love that girl," as she attacks him again. Meanwhile, we see that Olga has prepared Marina for a sacrifice. She is performing a ritual in which Marina is being offered in exchange for saving her brother. Marina begs Olga not to do this, but she refuses to listen. Just then, Olga's father arrives. He tells Olga not to do this to Marina, that this is exactly what the mermaid wants. Olga listens to her father, and at that moment, the mermaid appears. Olga's father begs the mermaid to spare everyone's lives and take him instead. Hearing this, the mermaid attacks him and drags him away. Seeing this, Olga grabs the mermaid's hair to try and save her father. Meanwhile, Marina frees herself in the ropes and cuts the mermaid's hair with scissors. The mermaid then reveals her true demonic form, and since her power was in her hair, cutting it weakens her. But during the struggle, the mermaid drags Olga away with her as well. Marina is unable to save Olga or her father, but to save Roma, she immediately runs toward the lake. She finds Roma lying by the water, shaking and suffering badly. She tells him that the mermaid's real power is in her hair. Marina jumps into the water. The mermaid attacks her too, but Marina fights back and cuts off even more of her hair. As soon as the mermaid's hair is cut, Roma regains consciousness. Marina quickly swims back to him, hugs him, and asks, "Do you love me?" Hearing this, Roma becomes suspicious and starts cutting her hair, revealing that this is actually the mermaid pretending to be Marina. As her hair is cut, she becomes weaker and weaker. Roma then dives into the water and sees the real Marina unconscious underwater. He brings her out, gives her CPR, and Marina wakes up shortly after. And with that, the story ends.